The use of electronic instruments has grown throughout the past century and has revolutionized the music industry. Technology is always improving and managing to develop intricate electronic instruments. I can envision one person with a lot of machines, tapes, electronic setups, singing and speaking and using a lot of machines. Jim Morrison stated this in a 1969 interview. In other words, he had an accurate prediction of the future of music. Electronic instruments hit the music scene heavily in the 1970s. With the introduction of the Mini-Moog in 1970, it became the first portable and affordable synthesizer. Its early use was incorporated mainly into rock. A man named Patrick Gleason popularized the Mini-Moog, performing tasks on the synthesizer that the machine wasn't even designed to do. The Moog led to the creation of a genre known as synth rock, which became a movement in the late 1970s and early 1980s. The most notable digital instrument was the creation of the MIDI or Musical Instrument Digital Interface. It is an interface device that made it possible to use multiple electronic instruments and computers at the same time in an organized fashion. Artists such as The Doors are beginning to team up with electronic music artists to create songs. The artist Skrillex made a song titled Breakin' a Sweat, where he teamed up with the legendary band The Doors. The song incorporated original guitar, keyboard, and drum scoring from the band, as well as vocals from deceased lead singer Jim Morrison. All electronic artists use computers to produce their music. Other equipment can include a sound card, studio monitor speakers, mixers, MIDI keyboards, and production software. This music can be created just about anywhere. Recently acclaimed electronic duo Flosstradamus once stated in an interview that some of their tracks were produced on an airplane while on tour. This makes the process of making a song more accessible than rock music, where in order to produce a song, artists have to be in a studio with actual instruments. On the contrary, studio quality productions can be created on just a laptop with electronic music. Many subgenres of electronic music have been developed over the past decade, including dubstep. Originated in London, England, and emerged in the late 1990s. Its music includes a syncopated drum pattern with bass lines that contain prominent sub-bass frequencies, or otherwise known as the wobble effect. Dubstep has grown increasingly in American pop culture. Many dubstep songs have been featured in many box office films, including Baz Luhrmann's The Great Gatsby. A dubstep song titled I Can't Stop by Flux Pavilion was played throughout one of its scenes. The trap subgenre evolved from hip-hop in the southern U.S. in the early 2000s. Trap eventually tied itself in with the electronic music scene in the early 2000s while being labeled as trapstep. The genre was made famous when the EDM duo Flosstradamus released a trapstep remix to the 2011 Major Lazer track Original Dawn in 2012. Its heavy use of trap elements separated itself from other subgenres of electronic music. Flosstradamus pioneered trapstep and have influenced many of the mainstream songs heard recently. Many bands are beginning to incorporate electronic elements into their live sets. String Cheese Incident, a progressive bluegrass band from Colorado, recently created a side project called Ioto, involving two of the band members. Ioto is an electronic band that includes a percussionist named Jason Hahn and a DJ mixer named Michael Travis. They use a software called Ableton Live to loop sounds during their live sets, creating improvised electronic rock music. Technology has improved electronic music since its beginning in the 1960s, as it becomes universal, bringing artists together and bridging a gap between genres such as rock, folk, and country. Right now marks the start of something revolutionary. EDM is only at its beginning stage, and it has potential to become something transformative and be the new rock and roll genre.
For the G's who touchin' cheese.